Hello, welcome. So today we're in r/relationships again, and today the OP got cheated on by their wife, and it is all downhill from there. So if that sounds like something that would be interesting to listen to, then sit back, relax, and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe. So the title for this one is My Wife 30F Admitted to a Drunken One Night Stand Last Weekend, and it has turned me, 32M, into a robot, as I am sure it would. I, 32M, have been married to my wife, Kate, 30F, for 4 years, together for 9. Our relationship has been amazing, loving, and supportive. We have good communication, hardly ever argue, and our bedroom life has gone from strength to strength over the years. We've discussed cheating in the past, and I was always clear that we would be over if it ever happened. Yeah, I am very much in the camp of cheat on me and you're dead to me. R.I.P. See you later. Kate went home to visit her family last weekend, which was fairly normal. Before she left on Friday night, we had a minor argument about keeping the house tidy, so our communication was limited on Saturday, but I knew she was going out to meet some friends at a bar, and I trusted her 100%, so I didn't think anything of it. Before I fell asleep, I texted her saying that I hope she had a nice night. When I woke up on Sunday morning, I had a missed call from Kate at 4 a.m, so I immediately called her to check if she was okay, but no answer. After a few hours, I tried again a few times, but still, no answer. Around an hour later, I got a message saying she was fine and was driving back. Kate got home late afternoon and looked awful. She had clearly been crying and was not wearing any makeup, unusual for her, and looked like a shell of a person. I knew right away something was wrong, but she wouldn't let me hug her and would barely speak. I sat her down on the couch and made some tea. I gently encouraged her to tell me what was wrong, and she burst into uncontrollable tears for at least 10 minutes whilst I was trying to comfort her. She then proceeded to tell me, stopping every few words, that she had slept with someone last night after the bar. Yikes! Oh dear. At that moment, something in my brain broke. I can't describe it any other way. I immediately got up and jumped in my car and drove off. I went to a park and walked around it for about an hour. Kate was calling my phone constantly, and I turned it off. When I got home, I grabbed 2 suitcases from the garage and went to our bedroom. I threw some of Kate's clothes and shoes into them and left them by the front door. Kate was lying on the floor in the living room, curled up into a ball, sobbing. I called her best friend who lives nearby and told her that Kate needed a place to stay and a ride to her place, and that Kate could explain everything to her later. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit late to be feeling so sorry for yourself, Kate. You shouldn't have taken someone else's sausage. You know? I struggle to, well, I say I struggle. I will never feel bad for anyone who cheats, and I don't care what excuse you've got, unless it was something that was forced upon you. There is no excuse for it, ever, you know? I told Kate I was leaving for an hour and that her friend was coming to pick her up. She grabbed onto my legs, trying to stop me from leaving. When I returned home again, Kate was gone, and so were the cases. On Monday, with a clearer head, I answered one of Kate's many calls and told her that I needed her to send me an email with as much details as possible of that night, and if she leaves anything out, there will be no hope of reconciliation. I received the email on Monday night, but I still haven't opened it. Since then, everyone has been trying to contact me, but I have just been working, exercising, and sleeping. One of her friends turned up at my house with an attitude demanding an explanation. Oh, wow. Yeah, no. I would have had many choice words for her, none of which I can repeat on here. I told her to speak to Kate and close the door in her face. What a cheeky cow, though, to be trying to get involved like that and demanding an explanation. Like, I'm sorry, is this your relationship? Then again, though, what's Kate told her? You know, I guess, what has Kate told her? We don't know that. I have also been speaking to divorce lawyers, have moved money into separate accounts, and blocked Kate and all of her friends on everything. Everything I have done since I found out seems like I have been on autopilot. I don't feel angry, upset, or overly emotional. Just numb. Kate posted a note through the door yesterday asking me to meet tomorrow, but I'm conflicted. Should I meet her? Will it change anything? Is there any point in trying to reconcile? Is it normal to feel like a robot, and how do I snap out of this? Edit, I just want to add that when I came home the first time, Kate confirmed it was consensual. She was drunk, but knew what she was doing. Yeah, exactly. So, sorry, tough luck, Kate. You effed around and found out, my friend. Oh dear. TLDR, wife cheated out of the blue, and I have been going through the motions since finding out. Yeah, I can imagine that's just like an absolute kick in the nadgers, and yeah. How do you deal with that after what seems like a happy relationship? Yeah, you had a little argument. All relationships have arguments, and they're usually over the most stupid things as well. But like, how do you... Whoops, I just smacked something over there with my hands. I talk too much with my hands, I swear. One of these days, I'm just going to send my whole desk flying. Yeah, how are you supposed to get over that? Like, I would never trust them again. I genuinely, and when I say if someone was to cheat on me, they are dead to me, it's not because I am petty or anything. It is because I think if someone has broken that trust, and cheating on a partner is a real massive betrayal, they can do it again just as easily. Probably a little bit easier because you've let them get away with it, you know? So I just think once that's been done, once that line's been crossed, it's not really something you can come back from. And unless you are an extraordinarily secure person, and let's face it, who the hell is going to be secure after something like that? You're never going to fully get over it, and it's always going to be in the back of your mind, and it will come back at some point and bite you in the butthole. So, down in the comments, C-Art says, hey, I am really sorry. I will speak from experience. Being numb after finding out was one of the main feelings that you will have. And it's totally okay to take a pause for as long as you need before you make a single decision. Needs months? Takes months. You don't owe anybody anything at this moment, and good job setting up boundaries. Regarding whether to read that email or not, think about it before doing so. Yeah, because if she has detailed every last little thing, you need to be very certain that you are in the right kind of headspace to receive that information. Generally, there are two types of people. The ones that want to know as less info as possible, and the ones that want to know every single detail that there is. How it felt, how and what they have done. I personally did want to know every detail. I would say it helped me. Definitely caused me to imagine how it happened many, many times. Sometimes I wonder if I would be better off not knowing. To be fair, yeah, if you feel like maybe if you hadn't known the details, you may have gone back. Maybe it's better to know the details because it just might put you off that person forever and ever. And if someone's going to cheat on you, I'm, again, in the court of don't date them again. Don't go back. They will do it to you again. She does seem remorseful. She did admit it herself, and as soon as she could in person. This will ruin things, big time. Magic will be forever gone, I promise you. 100% trust will never be back again, but 95% is possible. But there will always be that doubt in your head every time she will leave the house. You can definitely live with it. You can become stronger as a couple even in some areas. That's all possible and will tremendously depend on her. The work she is ready to do, but unfortunately for you, you will have to do a lot of work too. It will seem unfair, but that's the reality. We all said that we will never forgive infidelity, but I tried staying. I stayed for 1.5 years. Did the work, read the books, watched videos, did a lot of talking, etc. I personally couldn't get over it. My psychotherapist said that everybody takes it differently and some can live with it, some cannot. I took it as 10 out of 10. It made me a shell of a person for those 1.5 years. It affected my next relationship. If you can take it, if you can do the work, if you know she will give you the compassion and understanding that she is ready to do anything to help you, it might be possible, but keep in mind that post-infidelity relationship is very different and has very different rules. Yeah, I don't personally think it's a good idea. I would, if it was my friend coming to me and saying, my fella's cheated on me, my girlfriend's cheated on me, I would be there with a nice big banner saying, leave them. If you will decide to go to the psychotherapist, get the one that specialises on infidelity. Whatever will be required to reconcile could be considered controlling and unhealthy by regular psychotherapists. I hope you the best, my friend. Yeah, I mean, again, I just don't understand how you're going to and how you're ever going to trust them again. From my perspective, of course, other people might have a different way of thinking than me. But yeah, I just think once you've broken that trust, it's a seal that you can never put back, you know? So we have an update from the OP. After reading your comments, I decided to meet with Kate, but not read the email. Yeah, I think that's for the best. Why torture yourself? You know? Kate came to my house yesterday, and when I opened the door, she looked terrible. She tried to hug me and started mumbling apologies, but I stopped her and we sat down to talk. I started by telling Kate that I would be recording the audio of the conversation, and she agreed. What are you eating? Wait, no. Get away from there. What are you chewing? What have you even... Ew, is that a spider? Icky. Gross. That was my cat eating a spider. I thought she was chewing a piece of thread off the carpet for a minute then. I then asked her to explain what happened and told her that I haven't read the email she sent. Kate said that she'd been at the bar with 2 friends. I know and like both of them. And she told me what she had had to drink. I was surprised at how little she drank because it was the same amount we would normally drink when going for dinner. A few glasses of wine and a cocktail. She admitted she was only slightly tipsy. So yeah, she can't even lean on the excuse of, oh, I was just absolutely hammered and had no idea where I was, who I was, and what I was doing. My goodness. Oh dear. One of her friends, Sarah, has a younger brother, Max, 27M, who came to pick them up around midnight. It's a running joke in their group that Max has had a major crush on Kate since high school, and I had heard them joke about this. The 4 of them went to get some food, and Max then dropped each one off until it was just him and Kate. Kate said she didn't want him to drive the 20 minutes to her parents' place after working all day, so would rather just order an Uber from his apartment. She went into his apartment to order the Uber but couldn't get one. Max suggested she should crash in his bed and he would take the sofa. He would then drop her off in the morning. Kate refused and continued to try and find an Uber. They were sitting on Max's bed and he kissed her. She kissed him back and they ended up having S. She confirmed again that it was consensual. After that, she broke down crying from guilt and Max took her home. She cried for another hour and then tried to call me to tell me what she had done. We had to stop a number of times because Kate kept breaking down and crying hysterically. She then told me it was a huge mistake. She got caught up in the moment. It was terrible. She only loves me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I feel like Kate's trying to be a little bit emotionally manipulative here because, yes, she should feel bad. Yes, she can be really upset with herself for her actions. But what she should be doing is pulling her big girl pants up and realizing that she is not the injured party here. You know? I don't know. This feels like she might be trying to pull the, oh, feel sorry for me kind of card to get him to feel like he can't tell her where to go swing, you know? After she was done, I told her that her story didn't make sense, but it didn't matter at this stage because I was done. This caused another breakdown. I told her I was going to continue with the divorce preparations, but for the next month, we would be separated with no contact. I also told her that we would both remain faithful, would get a full STD panel, and she would tell our mutual friends and family what happened. If she sticks to these conditions, I would be willing to meet again to see if there was any way forward other than divorce. She enthusiastically agreed to this, but made it clear that she did not expect me to stay faithful to her. You know, I do wonder, now this might just be me, plucking stories from thin air. I do wonder if the reason she came home and said anything is that this Max guy, he obviously knows that she's married. Did he turn around to her and say, you need to say something or I will? Because if he's had a massive crush on her for ages, he probably wants their marriage to end. Now I do wonder, is she saying anything because she feels super, super guilty? Or is she saying something because she knows that if she doesn't, somebody else will? Does make you wonder, because if someone's just nasty enough to cheat, they're nasty enough to be big fat liars and all. I know many of you will criticise this decision, but I need to be sure that divorce is the right option after I have had the time to process everything that has happened. I am still 99% sure that is where we are heading, but I need to be 100% certain. Yeah, absolutely. Because, divorce is expensive. You want to make sure that you are 100% on that before you go and spend all that money. And weddings are even more expensive. So then if you were like afterwards, like, oh, actually, I actually want to be together and I want to be married again, you're going to have to do all that like all over again as well. No, thank you. Edit. Just to clarify, because many of you seem to be focusing on this point, I've had mutual friends and my wife's family send me nasty messages, turn up at my house, etc. because according to Kate, I kicked her out over an argument. My request was that Kate tells them it's because she has been unfaithful, not a full rundown of everything that happened. Yeah, imagine having to do that, be like, yeah, so by the way, Dad, I'm just going to tell you everything that happened that night. Yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? TLDR, heard the story, don't believe it, but we'll slow down the divorce process to see if there is any hope of a future. And then down in the comments, usetangerine117 says, so there's a running joke about this guy wanting to bang your wife. Then in the middle of the drive home, it's determined that 20 minutes is too far because he worked all day. Yeah, I picked up on that too, and I was also a little bit like, what? It feels like the wife premeditated wanting to sleep with him, you know, on the way back. It feels like she already made the decision, and then fannying around with the flaming Ubers as well. It feels like she wanted to be there and she knew what she was doing ahead of time. Then, the solution to that ends up with them sitting on his bed. The logic leaps for this to be believable are miles wide. I agree. Almost 100%, the sequence of events did not happen that way. Yeah, I think it's absolute bull as well. I agree wholeheartedly. I think she's telling a lot of fibs. I don't believe either that she would have been like, oh no, 20 minutes more out of your afternoon, even night, would be too much. It feels like she wanted it to happen ahead of time, which then goes against this whole, oh, it was just a silly mistake, it was spur of the moment. But yeah, no, I just don't believe it. I feel like it was very premeditated. I feel like she's pulling the tears and waterworks constantly to try and guilt trip him into forgiving her. It just seems off. And I feel like if he forgives her, she will do it again, because she will be like, oh, I got away with it. He forgave me, so he'll forgive me again. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a really cynical but yeah, that's my 2 pennies worth. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for the day. I hope you enjoyed listening along today. The videos are a little bit shorter for the next couple weeks, I think, just because obviously with the kids being off, I can only record really, really late at night. It's currently 12 midnight, so yeah. Which means if I can keep them shorter, I can get more done in the night, and then yeah, I'm not up till the ass crack of dawn then. But once they go back in the 1st or 2nd week of January, I think it's the 1st week, I cannot remember, the uploads will then go back to normal. So yeah, I just want to make sure I'm sticking to posting every day basically. So if it means they have to be shorter, they have to be shorter. Anyway, if you made it to the end, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you would like to give a like and subscribe so you can find your way back here, I do post every single day. Other than that, I hope you have a really good rest of your day. Goodbye.